Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Invite Only. I'm your host, That Kid Flowers. You may know me as Shawn. Actually, let me just plug myself because this is my show. Go ahead and follow my Twitch page over at That Kid Flowers because we streaming live every weekend, Saturdays and Sundays. Schedule on that page, so go ahead and check that out. Back to the people around me, right? To my left, I got Cheeks_Juniors.
When I start streaming, you can catch me right here on twitch.tv/play PE Productions.
Yeah, I'm gonna stream here too one day.
Yeah.
A couple of days.
One day. What's going on, everybody? I feel like I haven't been on the show in a minute.
I know I think you missed last episode. Were you on the episode before that too?
Me and Kevin Qualo are going to be breaking away from Play Everything, and we're going to be starting a Tech Fever channel.
Okay.
So exciting things happening there. No, I'm just fucking around. Having a good time. I missed it. I missed being on the show. I missed you. I missed talking about video games like a big old dork.
Yeah, I had a lot of dork talk today with a lot of my boy Freddie came by. We had some nerd talk. And, I missed the nerd talk with you too.
Yeah, yours is like nerd talk though. Like
yeah,
yours is fucking some manga. Fucking, Tsushima said in this episode, and if you follow him, you ever want to jump out a window, Aaron? I call him Aaron. Adrian.
Shout out to my boy Adrian in the back.
You are the slowest motherfucker in the world.
No, I was busy messing with the audio levels.
That's what.
Yeah, no. Pure. I mean, I got here at 3, and this entire time, this guy's been nerding out over that anime he was watching.
It'd be like that. Look,
yeah,
it'd be like that.
They were talking about some weird stuff. Not gonna lie, it was
you gotta watch it to understand it, and sometimes it gets confusing still.
Yeah, it's funny because I kept hearing them yell and get all hyped, and I'd go and like look at the screen and like nothing's happening. So I didn't
look.
You know how you avoid like bums on the street? That's how I felt in my own house today. I was like,
you were
kind of
don't
around. Make eye contact with them. Just like
I see you like walking around.
They're not there.
Looking
Look
at the
through
screen.
them. Looking
at the screen, looking back at us, just walking around like, oh, what are these guys?
Jesus Christ! I just got done with what is it? What's a 10 to 7:30 edit? How many hours is that?
It's definitely over
9.5.
It's about 9.5.
9.5 seems
10 to 6 would be an 8.
9.5 hour edit.
Or if you, yeah.
Okay.
So go check that out. That's going to be live tomorrow.
What time?
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Right alongside this show. If you miss it tonight. Over on where?
I forgot this post on 10 a.m. We'll talk about it. Oh, you'll be able to find it tomorrow.
Where would they find it?
YouTube.com/play everything. You might be saying, why? What are you guys doing? Why does something take that long to edit? We're trying something new. Me and Flowers were kind of brainstorming on what we wanted to do for launch content for the PlayStation. Mm-hmm. And we decided none of you give a fuck about unboxings or...
It sounded fun though.
Yeah, it was. Those are definitely fun. And we're like, what could we devote our resources to? So we took 3 days and we wrote a really dumb script. And we did a short, our first ever really Play Everything original short film.
It was fun.
I still support my my idea to do an ASMR unboxing of the Xbox.
5 minutes, so it's easily digestible. So if you're watching this on Tuesday 10 a.m. and you're like, hey, I want to check this out. Well, after this, go check it out. Like I said, 5 minutes of your time. A lot of hours went into that. We were shooting till 4 a.m. The other day. That's why Compa's late now.
A lot of positive energy. The video is going to be nice, short, and sweet. Go check that out.
It's honestly really funny. Like
it was a ton of fun to shoot. It was actually really, really fun.
It was fun to shoot. And like I said, it's actually really, really funny. Shout out to Tombo Vlogs. You can follow him at Tombo Vlogs on Twitter. He did all the shooting. And then again, we were all the actors and it was a good time. So please make that worth our while and let us know if you want to see more of that.
Just click on it, watch it, tell me what you think about it, because it's good shit.
It is very good shit.
Other than that,
very good.
You can watch this, like I said, tomorrow on youtube.com/play everything at 10 a.m. If you missed today's video. But if you don't want to watch it, you want to listen to it because you're one of those podcasts, you're in a car driving, you can listen to this on podcast services everywhere, iTunes, Spotify, you name it, right? We're there. Other than what we talked about, what you guys been playing? Next gen, you see we have the glorious PS5 sitting here, nice and large,
Massive, large,
Huge.
and charged.
extra crispy.
Huge.
What
What did you compare it to?
what
What size did you compare it to?
do you mean? What size?
in our group chat.
Yeah, in the group chat.
I compared it to the PS3.
No,
No,
no, that's not what you compared it to.
not at all.
That is definitely what I compared it to.
No,
No.
What I compared it to?
I mean,
you tell us.
I'm not gonna say. You tell me.
Yeah,
I'm telling you. How you gonna tell me what I'm not telling you? I'm confused.
I know.
Look
Some
it.
real braggadocious in the tech group
I know,
chat.
right?
Now you can't tell the tens of people that listen to the show.
all bark and no bite. All
Look,
bark, no
all I'm
bite.
here to talk about is this amazing console that has launched, and I was saying it was big in the chat, and I'm saying it's big now. This thing is fucking huge. Like, obviously, you can kind of see my laptop, right? And the mic stand, and it's still taller than both.
It is. Yeah, it's huge.
It's almost, what is it, like eye level with me right now?
It's the biggest console out there so far. I think it's bigger. It's bigger than the PS3, the
Yep.
original PS3,
Definitely
the original
big.
PS2, the
It's
original
not as
Xbox.
fat, though. Like, it's a slim little baby.
It's
She got that
such a
hourglass.
Fucking interesting design.
She got that hourglass. You know the.
She do got the hourglass.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
an
yeah.
interesting design. It's interesting because if they
Curves.
took off these panels, it would be.
Have you seen
I mean,
it
would
without
still
the
be pretty
panels?
big.
It's big, but it's like it looks pretty cool without.
Yeah,
the
it also
panels.
looks naked though. I don't know. I like the design. I know a lot of people hate it. I don't like it on its side. Like that is the downside. I was talking to the
Yeah.
one Kevin Cuomo about this.
You don't like it?
The bottom, like you can tell it's clearly the bottom. So
Mhm.
like when you have it on its side and one side's visible, then it's like, I don't know. It's I didn't like it, so I had to adjust some things, and I got it upright standing now. I got the all digital. You got the physical.
You got an all digital?
You got a physical,
Yeah, I got
and
a
no
physical.
disc tray.
I didn't
and
know that.
Tombo
wow.
got it all digital.
I honestly just realized
No
that.
disc tray. The disc tray has a little slot. I
Did
think,
you want
on this
to? I can bring
side.
mine up so you can.
Ooh,
compare
No,
them.
there's
Michael
actually
there.
no bump. There's no difference in thickness with the all digital and the physical. Interestingly enough, it is interesting.
There's
But
no.
there's
What do
no-
you mean a bump? Like doesn't come out any extra?
No.
Oh, that's
You'd think
interesting.
so, but I mean, in the pictures, I mean, looking at it
You
now,
have
it
the
looks
physical.
slimmer.
Oh, I guess Andrew's gonna give us his physical PS5 for days. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Gang,
no,
gang.
there's a bump. There's definitely a bump. I
Yeah,
lied
I'm like,
to you.
I'm sure there was definitely a bump because
There
your
is.
shit looks like
Big time.
nice,
There's that
like
bump.
taco.
Yeah.
Like you got the little taco shell.
I
PS5.
like the all digital design a lot more. 100%. Yeah.
Me too. I didn't think the bump was that big of a deal, but
Yeah,
seeing
comparing
it
them-
now, yeah, it's a big deal.
Huge.
It looks better laying down though, because of the bump.
Sure.
Yeah, it does. But then you'd put the bump.
Still see the bottom.
Yeah.
My
you
biggest
would-
gripe is that they have this PS5 or PS5, the PlayStation logo on this side, which is would this be the right side? Because I like to have it when it's on my stand, right?
You
I
know,
like to
you were
have it
complaining about that, but
right here.
can
Like it's on
you-
this side because this is the back of the panel, right? Where you're gonna have all your cables, your HDMI's, everything, your USBs are gonna be right here. So like, if you're gonna put this standing, you have to face it like towards like that way. Like
you can't reverse the panels?
no, I mean I'm not gonna sit here and break this off.
Well,
What
the
do I look
panels
like? I
are
just spent-
removable. No, that's how you upgrade the SSD. Or
Oh, you can take these off?
Yeah, they come up pretty. They slide up.
I don't know, man.
Mon-
It's-
Monkey King in the chat over
shout outs
on
to my boy.
twitch.tv/P Productions says design is nice, but size is ridiculous. I do agree
agree.
with that
I
because I
agree.
do like the design of it. I really do. I think it's cool. I like the futuristic look. I like the way the lights shine, like the LED lights when it's on
yeah.
against the white. I like the two-tone. I like everything about it.
Have you seen the
but it is pretty fucking
Have you
nice.
seen people customize them? Like I seen like a YouTuber or a
Yeah,
Twitter person on Twitter, but
you
you
could-
could Seto. You
And
can take you go
Sony
back?
is suing every single one of those
For real.
fucks. You see that
Why,
story?
though? No, I haven't seen that.
there was a company that was doing like custom plates.
Yeah, and
They
I know
ended up
Sony
suing
shut that
them.
down. Yeah, I seen that. I seen that. But
Sony
why?
doesn't like fun.
Which is
Yeah.
interesting
In
because
the
it's
end.
usually Nintendo that
Right.
doesn't like fun.
Interesting enough. We're gonna talk about Nintendo like a
Ooh.
lot today because they've been undercover.
So yeah, let's talk about the controller.
Yeah, now we're gonna talk about this a little bit.
Not a big.
'cause-
Not crazy. Not crazy.
Oh, you want to
about
stay on the design right now?
No, not the design.
Okay.
I'm talking about the PS5.
Okay, yeah, the controller. I mean, this is what we're opening the show with, right?
Yeah.
This is what people are here for. See what we gotta say about the PS5. The controller, to me, is the biggest
Damn, what the-
achievement
Block me
I
out of
think
the
of this console, because I was trying to see what you're doing with the framing there.
Trying to get back in
Because
it.
one, it just feels so good, and I know Xbox kind of had this form factor, but like the end tips kind of feel like elbows. Interestingly enough, you ever
the
feel
end
that?
tips feel like elbows.
Yeah, it feels
that
like
threw
little
me off.
elbows.
Yeah, it is flat.
So it is interesting.
Oh yeah. That
Oh yeah,
I noticed that too.
Oh yeah. Shut up.
It is. It's like you can lay it down flat,
Just
and
playing.
it is very weird. I was trying to think what the hell you guys were talking
Yeah,
about.
and
They're
then
talking about the triggers.
the rumble in it is fantastic.
I like the vibration a lot. This is
Yeah.
actually one of the first times I actually prefer to play. Like, if I play on a PS5, I want to play all my games with like some vibration on a rumble.
The
because it
haptic
feels so
feedback,
good.
yeah, the triggers, the adaptive triggers. I think.
We getting there. We getting there. We talking about the rumble right now.
What else do you have to say about the rumble?
No, because I think what's interestingly enough
What else?
about the actual rumble itself is when I'm playing, like, again, the only game I've really like gotten into
let's talk about that.
is Sackboy's Big Adventure. Obviously, that's what I'm covering for the channel, so that's all I've been playing because, again, I want to get into Spider-Man. Can't wait to get into Spider-Man, but right now that's the game I got to focus on. One, the way that the controller interacts with the world in terms of the vibrations and the music and like how you have different feedback points and different levels and different points in the levels and like things specifically designed around how this vibration works. It's just so much more immersive. And then like even with like the music in Sackboy, which I'll get into when we start talking about the games, I feel myself kind of like go into the beat, you know, for like the first time.
Buttons?
Ooh. And then it's like, I don't know, it's just it does vibration in a way in a controller that I don't think I've seen. And I know Microsoft touted that on the Xbox One and then obviously the Pro controller because they're like, oh, it has rumble in the triggers. And then again, it never felt really different for me.
So speaking firsthand, the Xbox technology that inside the controller, it worked really well. The problem was that not many developers supported it. So we had like first party games, like if you're playing Forza, it was actually pretty intuitive because if it was almost like a diet version of what's in the PS5 right now. It was like you could see that PlayStation they took that technology that Xbox had and that Xbox should have made, you know, even better on the Series X. But PlayStation took that technology and took it to an entirely new level. Not only did they add Rumble, but then they added like we said, the adaptive triggers, which
but like the Rumble to me is even better than what was on the Xbox. And again, that's originally like the OG Xbox One came out with those vibration and those triggers.
Do you guys normally play with those though? Vibrations?
No. Oh yeah. I mean, I don't turn it off. I'm not a psychopath.
Even on like the PS3, PS4.
Yeah.
Oh, that should turn straight the fuck off.
I always, and this is actually the first time I've actually left it on because you're right. I would always turn it off because especially in first person shooters,
it ruins it.
That throws off your aim. Which is why if Tom was watching, I was doing bad
especially
playing
the trigger
Battlefield.
vibration, right? You're shooting someone and then like everything's vibrating or you getting shot. It just ruins like your aim. Like I feel like the analog's vibrating. I'm fucking missing. I'm shooting too far to the left or too far to the right, and it's all bad news.
Well, and I get that for first person shooters. One, I don't play competitively like that. I just play for fun, so it's like whatever. But two, like in terms of like things like Sackboy and like Astrobot, which I haven't jumped into, and I'm really upset I haven't. But it does it so well, and then getting into the adaptive triggers, that feedback when you feel it for the first time throws you off. You have to get a little bit used to it.
Definitely. I experienced that a lot in Godfall, right? I chose Godfall to kind of be my game cover for the channel here. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. It's a fun game. I'm gonna talk about a little bit when we talk about the games here. But the way they use the controller, as you were talking about, in Sackboy, but in Godfall, the way they set up the controllers, like you almost feel for the combos, if that makes sense, because you have like the haptic feedback triggers, and then you have vibration that goes into all the rest of your combos. So it's like once you're in a combo and like you have different combo strings and like there's different time sequences you have to do for your combos, but like in a sense you kind of feel the buildup in the controller from the vibration, and then like your triggers get extra heavy.
You were telling me, like when like 1, 2, and it starts getting like tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter.
So like you built that tension in the midst of doing all the other moves in the combos, and like you just feel like okay, like this is gonna be like a heavy slam for the rest of the.
So no. What I was looking at actually, the stands on the PS5 are actually different, the digital and the physical. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
The stand for the PS5 is actually different for the digital and the physical.
Yeah, you can see it right there.
Oh, because the PS5,
it's wider.
the digital has a little side piece, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Get the chair.
I don't even know how to sit this down. I know everyone has theirs bolted in.
No, just put it off to the side.
My experience, I started playing Spider-Man. Obviously, was my first game.
Yeah.
The the adaptive triggers on that game are insane. So it actually feels like when you're swinging, it actually feels like for however the hell they're able to do it, it actually feels like you're swinging and that you're like zipping out a spider web or anything like that, like through the triggers, and it progressively gets more difficult to press the trigger as you're farther along in your swing.
Tombo actually has beaten Spider-Man already. That was the first thing when I talked to him about it. He was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, and then I had to explain to him what was. And he's like, "I was wondering." He's like, "I don't know why it was so hard to press down the triggers."
Yeah, and then.
But he's like, I do like it though. Like he enjoys it. And then again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, the one and only Compa Andres joins us.
Just arrived on the scene.
To be back. My goldfish was drowning.
Oh God.
CPR.
Okay.
Fine.
We're
Clear.
We're talking about that.
Go.
Sexy PlayStation 5. Shawn was just giving his points
Godfall
experience with the triggers. You have anything with the triggers in terms of your, so one, what have you been playing, and two, what are you covering for the channel?
Into anything I could right now. I got into Cold War, and then I got into Miles Morales.
You actually bought Cold War.
I did.
I'm thinking about it too.
Shooters shoot, bro.
I'm thinking about it.
Shooters gonna shoot.
I'd rather shoot a bow. I'd rather you talk about Assassin's Creed than Cold War.
Well, guess what? It's gonna wait because your boy is still trying to beat Miles Morales. I'm like Tombo. I can't just dedicate 8 hours. And fucking straight through
we
and
should
through.
Just gave Tombo fucking Spider-Man.
Honestly, that game was pretty short.
Yeah,
I'm honestly kind of.
The story's only like 10 hours.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that Tombo beat it like in a day. Like I remember sitting him and I was playing Godfall behind him, and like he literally was through with it like almost the following morning. I was like,
I'm like 3 missions in, and I'm already like 3 or 4 missions in, and I'm 15% done, and I was like, holy crap.
We all knew that, though.
Yeah, that's why it was 49. Isn't that why it was 49 on the PS4? Yeah. So it wasn't. I mean, we knew it wasn't.
So was this a Midway game, a Midway Spider-Man game,
but
or
Spider-Man 2? DLC,
it feels like a complete game. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's like Uncharted Lost Legacy.
It's very
Uncharted with Naughty Dog with Uncharted Lost Legacy, where after Uncharted 4 came out, they did like a spin-off.
In-betweener.
Yeah. But it was like a shorter game, and it was a more compact game, and it was story driven, and that's kind of what you're seeing with Spider-Man Miles Morales, which I'm not mad at.
No, not at all.
I'm not upset. I'm for sure hoping we get some DLC. I haven't even touched the game, but
if anything,
you DLC.
Yeah, no, you won't.
I'm gonna beat it. It's only what we say 10 hours, easy.
Won't.
And the PS5, keeps me on track. Lets me know, so that's cool.
It actually tracks.
Like a little.
I love it.
Progress.
Yeah,
in the corner.
It will tell you how far you are in a mission. We have
Alex here too. Alex will keep you checked.
It does that trophies, bro. On your friends list too. It'll actually show. Like I was playing the other day, and I saw Mikey playing Sackboy, and it showed me that he was 50% done through one of the missions. So I was like, oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it shows you how far you're done with the mission, and it shows you how far you're done with the game. It's really awesome.
As long as it doesn't show you my KD when I'm playing Cold War, it's good.
Did you notice anything with the triggers?
Absolutely. So I didn't know what the fuck was going on when I first. I thought it was this. I knew it was adaptive triggers, and I was like, okay, cool, that's what's up. I'm over here feeling. I was like, oh, do they feel regular? They feel the same. And next thing I know, I'm actually playing Cold War, and I'm like, wait, they're stiff. Like I gotta break them in, and what the fuck? I'm like pressing it even harder on the triggers, like slamming them a little bit, and I was like, what the fuck? And then a buddy of mine, Christian, he was like, yeah, it's a setting, dog. You just gotta turn it off. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Did
you turn it off?
Oh yeah, I turned it off.
You turned it off? The haptic?
So here's the thing. I've never even throughout the whole. Okay, let me tell you why, bro.
That's lame.
Throughout the whole DualShock 4, PlayStation 4, I always turned off vibration.
We're talking about PS5.
We just had this conversation.
We just had this conversation.
You came in late.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Came in, bro. Come on. Come on, dude.
All right, carry on.
I mean, get your fucking shit together. Let me tell you my side of the story, okay? I always turned it off. I never liked it. Killed the battery. Boom. I always turn it off. No big deal. This time when I'm playing this on the new one,
DualSense,
I like it for playing Miles Morales. I really, really do. The haptic feedback, all that stuff. But when you hear the train going through, you actually feel the remote go from right to left.
Yeah,
you actually feel that vibration. That's really, really fucking cool. But when I'm in a shooter, bro, shoot, bro, you gotta go like vibrate, bro. You can't do that. You can't be like about to shoot.
But you turned off the adaptive triggers as well as the feedback?
I turned both of those off when I do my shooting games, yes.
Because here's the thing.
You can adjust the settings too.
This was the interesting thing. How'd they use it in Cold War? Just
for the adaptive trigger was annoying because like I feel like I had to like preempt it, like pre-do it, and then actually go down. So like I felt like it was an extra step.
Was it with a certain weapon? Like
Because I thought like we've been so used to the other controllers. I was just going in, then going down, right? Just boom, and you start shooting.
Right.
For the disc controller, what I felt that I did a lot was obviously I tried to shoot, but I wasn't going.
That makes me want to get Cold War.
I wasn't going in enough.
Like that alone makes me want to get Cold War
it
because
out.
I like the feedback. I like it, and
I was trying to shoot, and I was like, wait, I'm not putting enough pressure. I'm an idiot.
Did you answer the question that Shawn Flowers just posed?
What was the question?
What was the question?
Did it feel different with different guns?
Oh yeah, different guns.
No.
Okay, so that's
I
one
forgot
thing
my
that
own
really
question.
excites me about it is because I want it to where
I don't know.
one day
No,
it's
no,
like
no, no,
if
one
you have a deagle, it's like super tense to push
You
down.
can feel it.
Yeah.
And then if you have an SMG, it's like super light on the trigger. I would
No.
like ideas like that in the future.
They do
But-
that in Assassin's Creed. So from what I heard is that when you're drawing a bow, you can actually in the triggers it feels like you're actually like.
Well,
pulling
yeah,
it
no,
back.
that's the point
Yeah.
with like the bows and stuff.
Right.
But I'm saying like within something like Call of Duty, I'd like the different guns to feel a little bit
Oh, I
different
got
based
you.
on the trigger
The
pulse.
actual-
Yeah,
yeah.
because they already do the trigger
Right.
pulse. So I mean that would be a cool way to see it implemented in the future. I like it with Sackboy, like picking up things. You have that like little bit of feedback, and it's just like, but it doesn't work all the time. Have you guys experienced that?
No.
I've had issues in Godfall with the game itself, where like the R2 is like the heavy attack, like it'll be like super heavy, and then like sometimes it'll activate twice back to back. Only if I hit it once though. So I hit it once, and like the controller will like build that tension, right? And then like it'll automatically do it twice. So like the controller like has like an extra layer of tension because like the game builds the tension. What I was telling you about with the combo, so like it does that twice, and it feels weird. And then like I would have to like in a sense kind of like turn the controller off and turn it back on, so it works correctly with the game.
Yeah.
I've had some issues with the PS5. Monkey King says, does the
issues?
PS5 heat up a lot and sound like a jet engine? Actually, no. It actually sounds like a Prius.
So hold on. Mine kind of sounds like a jet engine, like only when you insert the disc, like when it's loading the game.
I've got all digital.
I've never had a.
Oh, you had all
experience where it's
digital?
loud.
I've been all digital, but he only has the digital, so.
So yeah, I don't know if it's me. Monkey can help me out. I don't know if whoever's in the chat and you have a PS5, but every time I put in a disc and I switch out a
What up,
game,
Clutch?
it'll go pretty loud. I would say it's loud. And then, but obviously once it's done loading and I start the game, quiet, Prius. But that shit goes from 0 to 100 quick. That should be loud as fuck, and then next thing you know, it's quiet.
So I want to talk about these games. Mikey, real quick, we can start with you. Actually, we can start with Compa because you just came out, baby.
I know, dude, what's
Well,
up?
how you been experiencing Cold War, though? Like, what's up with Cold War?
Cold
You got
War's
any
fun.
issues?
No issues. It's good. It's a cool game. It's just another, different from obviously all the other Call of Duties. I've always liked that entry. I've always liked Black Ops. So that to me is like one of my top of the tier for it. So
This fuck's covering Spiderman and he's playing Cold War. I'm tempted to give it back to you.
Ah, shit.
hey,
I
but
gotta
what was I
knock out
doing
one at a
before I
time.
got here? Playing Miles Morales.
You woke
Which
up,
is
you
great.
piece of shit.
I tried the fidelity mode and I tried the performance mode. I like fidelity a little bit more.
Fidelity, that's for performance, right?
Yeah, no, it's for the ray tracing, get better lighting, get better graphics.
Fidelity is pretty much 30.
But
That's the
ray
graphics
tracing-
mode?
Yeah.
Performance is 60. When you go to 60
Gotcha.
and you're swinging down the streets,
Yeah.
bro, it shit looks crisp.
It does.
How does 60 frames, like that's, I think all of the PS5 launch games are 60 frames, right?
You just have to change it to performance. Yeah, you got
4K
to
60 frames in performance mode.
Yeah,
How does that feel for you guys? Is that like a
It's
big
smooth
difference
as
for the
fuck.
games?
it was smooth, man.
I
Like,
haven't played with it yet because
No?
I've been playing Sackboy.
Sackboy doesn't have the toggle switch for the resolution?
No, I'm
or-
sure it does, but I've been
it's
playing whatever
fucking
setting that they
Sackboy.
have
You
it
Go
don't
on.
straight into the actual gameplay.
So I assume that it's on
you really don't need
fidelity,
60 frames per second.
like a higher fidelity.
Honestly, I mean, maybe.
I want to see that sack swing in 60 frames per second. You know what I mean?
Oh, God.
Okay.
I'm excited.
But
All right.
it's cool. I mean, I would recommend Miles Morales hands down. That's the game you have to get if you have a PlayStation 5. 100%.
That 60 frame shit on Godfall, I'm not gonna lie,
Smooth.
changes honestly the game itself. The load times, I've only had one loading screen in Godfall this entire time I've played, which is actually pretty amazing. It was through the map, but the 60 frames is so smooth, and it has this one effect that Ratchet and Clank, I guess, is gonna try to take advantage of as far as like the teleporting one side to the other.
Yeah.
Godfall does that too, which I didn't even expect. And where it happens is it's so like seamless. Like your character damn near gets sucked into the screen, you get like teleported out all in like 1 or like 2-3 frames. Like it's crazy. Like it's real.
Oh shit! So it's
real
really
clean.
takes away the loading screens. I've always wanted to. I want to get a game like that. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna experience that when I play Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Like going different waypoints, save points. You'll just super quick.
What about fast traveling in Spider-Man? Have you guys done anything like that?
smooth as fuck.
So it actually, there's a set. I don't think it's on by default, but in Spider-Man, for me at least, it actually shows like the cutscenes when you're doing fast traveling.
Is it cutscene for fast traveling?
Yeah, well, it's just like him in the subway or him.
Like the thing, like the original.
Yeah,
Like when
you can actually turn that. Yeah, you can turn that off. I think for me it was on for some reason.
Why would they have it on?
I don't know.
Why would that be the default? I guess because it's a PS4 game. Huh?
Yeah.
So is it a long fast travel time though? Like if I
you can skip it, but it automatically takes you. Like it cuts to like the little scene
automatically.
Yeah, but no, I turn it off and holy crap, it's like that. It's instantaneous.
This is what next gen is, boys.
Yeah, no,
It's
this
amazing.
and
much.
not only I just feel like the UI, everything loads so much faster in game. Not only like obviously when you're not playing a game, it would be quick.
I have
but
You
all
can
the
pull up
problems.
a whole nother person's picture
and instantly.
their screen instantly.
Yeah,
and
that's
have it in the
dope.
corner.
I've been using that.
It is quite impressive. What
I'm
else? Like
loving it.
in terms of Godfall, you're in it. You've been playing it. How many hours would you say in?
So
you guys say you're
so
pretty
far,
deep.
I would say I've had, I would say game time total maybe like 4 or 5 hours. I've gotten a couple of little like what do you call them, Valor plate suits. I've played the game. I'm gonna start to understand the combos for sure, but there's just no layer of challenge on that game. Like I play on the hardest difficulty. Like once I start to understand like how the game like works and like how the combos work, okay, like this is Godfall. Like I'm not used to like hack and slash. Like imagine like a God of War, right?
Yeah.
But with a little more customization as far as like weapons and abilities and stats. So it's like that. So I'm not no stranger to this type of game, but like there's no difficulty. Like yes, there's boss battles and like yeah, to some degree, like you have to like, you know, actually pay attention. You can't just come in like hot like you would on every other enemy, but there's just no like level of difficulty to the game. And I play on the hardest difficulty, like I said, and it's just like even if you die, you come back into the game and it's like if there were like 10 enemies and you killed like 8, for example, and you die and you come back into that fight, there's only 2 enemies left.
Yeah.
And that's like, yeah, cool. Like it was annoying, but
so you
like
want to keep dying then? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, to a degree, like I lost for a reason. Like put them back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like put them back.
Give
I
me
wanted
another
it.
go.
So it's like
Yeah.
that kind of kills the kind of momentum going forward, especially when you have like a really good fight and you do die and it's just like, oh fuck,
Run it
that was
back.
good.
Run it back.
Yeah, and it's like it was good. I want to get
Yeah,
back in there, and it's just like, nope. Well, you already killed everybody, so you can kill one person, and then we'll just continue the story. So I don't know. And I've heard some bad things about the end game, but I'm not gonna talk about that yet because I
Here we
want to
go.
get myself
And
there.
you
That
said the
changed
story
well.
was meh.
The story was what bad?
Meh.
The story, look. I was talking to, I forgot who I was talking to about this, but if I could relate this into make it as simple as possible. All right, for those who watch anime, right? Let's break this down into like a Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, here it come.
Tune in.
Dragon Ball Z, right? You have
Can I mute him?
your whole saga. You have your arcs. Everybody knows that story went, and then you have Vegeta and you have Goku, right? So the two main characters, you have one. I think his name is like Macros. Like spoilers, it's not really much to spoil here. This is literally the story. You have Macros and you have his brother, which is Orin, right? We can make those Vegeta and Goku, right? Vegeta would be Macros in this story, and like imagine like Macros being a good guy up until one point in the story where he's just a bad guy, and then like he kind of like overthrows the Goku, and then like Goku's like, "Oh, you thought I'm gonna make my way back up, and I'm gonna fight you."
It's your
That story.
typical.
It's like a sweet little revenge story. So it's like,
Sounds like every other game.
yeah, the theme of the game is, "Bitch, you got me fucked up," and that's how I take every fight.
I like the idea. I just remember seeing the trailer where you have to fight like these guys who are like and these bosses, and every time you kill the boss, you take their like power.
I
don't know if it's
I
true,
don't take
but
any powers now. There's no powers being taken.
never mind then.
I just like little like
Compa just lied
drop
on there.
material, but
That's what the trailer said, bro.
what's the company? Gearbox published this game. I don't think they developed it, but it's a looter, so it's really just enemy
Borderlands,
drops
baby.
and stuff like that. And I mean, like the design and everything is really cool. Like the game looks absolutely beautiful, but there's just no challenge. Like it almost kind of turns you off to wanting to like continue through the story. I'm gonna get through it. I'm gonna push through it, but this is when I stop.
Damn.
This is when I stop playing
2 games.
honestly, because it's like, what am I doing this for? Like, it's not fun. I'm kind of just dying. Like, I literally in this game get as far as I can, die, and then just finish off, like, just sweep up the rest. Like, that's kind of what it turns into.
Well, now you're doing it for the channel.
Now I'm doing it
that,
for
bro.
y'all, so we're gonna make that happen.
Quick thing. I don't know if we're gonna talk about the accessories, like the. I know we were talking about the remote, but one dope ass feature that I did not know about this guy is that it has its own chat and thing here.
Yeah, the
mic,
microphone, the
yeah.
built-in microphone.
That shit blew my fucking
Adrian
mind.
said he
That's actually
used
not
it
bad.
today. He had a friend use it today, and it doesn't sound bad.
It doesn't sound that bad at all.
It doesn't sound bad.
It
but
actually
and it
blew
blows
me
my
away.
fucking mind.
Yeah.
I'm over here like I joined. I mean, first of all, the UI. Like I'm stupid. I don't know how to like find a party chat and join it.
Look, that UI is
Wait,
stupid.
let's
Like
say
I have to go
period.
down.
One thing, let's do one thing.
And do it.
Yeah.
We'll get used to
We'll
it.
save
We'll talk about that.
Well,
We'll
yeah,
get used
we'll
to
say
it.
it for
No
later.
big deal. No big deal.
They changed
But
that shit.
I remember I joined the chat and I was like, okay, cool. Fuck, hold on. I got to get my headset from the PlayStation 4. I got to move it to the PlayStation 5. It's like, fuck, give me a second. So I was like, I'm moving it. And next thing I know, I hear him and I'm like, I hear a voice. I'm like, hello? I'm like,
Oh.
who the fuck is that?
Audio
coming
comes
through the
out of the
controller?
It was
speaker?
coming through the remote. The
Oh,
voice
no,
chat.
audio came
I
out
didn't
of
know
the-
that.
Audio comes out through the remote.
I didn't
So
know
you don't
that.
even have to have a headset. Like
Damn.
dead ass, it'll come out through your own remote.
Imagine
That
playing
is
Call of Duty and you hear
wild.
the N-word through your remote. That'd be crazy.
That's wild.
Wait, wasn't me, mom.
That or like getting told that someone like fuck your mom or something. You're like
Yeah.
it's
So I
Call of
was
Duty 24/7.
I was really surprised by
your
it.
controller.
I was actually really surprised by it and I actually really like that feature. And it's cool. I mean, we confirmed two things. I was right before I got here. My buddy created a party chat. He was on the PlayStation 4. I was on the PlayStation 5. He invited me
Cross-bar?
to the chat. I
That's
joined,
cool.
worked, and he's like, "Oh shit, it works." I was like, "What do you mean it works?"
As far as being in
He's
the
like,
party,
"I don't have a PlayStation 5." Remember? I was like, "Oh, you're on the PlayStation 4." He's like, "Yep."
It's like sorry.
Guess what?
That's been my biggest favorite thing
And
about.
it worked. And then obviously we made sure the lobby worked. Going into thing worked fine.
Yeah, that's been my favorite thing about the PlayStation 5. It's literally a PlayStation 4 on steroids. Like it does everything that you need it to do. Because like obviously in generations past, it doesn't transfer anything over.
Nothing like
I
that.
booted this up and it was like, do you want to transfer all your PlayStation 4 stuff?
That was
Cool.
awesome.
Did it automatically, did it wirelessly. I just had to get it on the same network. Transferred all my games
So-
over, transferred all my saves over, transferred everything over.
How long did that take you? Because I had heard reports that it was actually really slow to do it over.
Yeah, it was
Wi-Fi.
pretty long.
Takes a while,
So
though.
what I had
mean,
heard
remember
is
the
that
first
if
time
you
I did it.
wired an Ethernet cable between your PS4 and your PS5, it would actually be pretty damn quick. I think it was like
Well, yeah,
quarter of
but
the
I
time.
didn't do that.
well,
but
what do you mean as far as
obviously-
information?
But
Just like
for
your
any
saves and
viewers
stuff?
out there,
Your saves, and then so you didn't have to download them from PlayStation Plus, and then your actual games. So it was like Spyro Reignited Collection, and this and that, and Fall Guys, and whatever. Just so you don't have to go back and download them. It just transfers it over instantly. You can pick which ones you want to do, which ones you don't want to do, which ones you can go back later. Then when you go to your game library, your whole PS4 game library is there.
that's so backwards compatibility.
Right
first
now
of
we
all,
don't
is
have the
awesome.
PlayStation 5 enhanced Marvel's Avengers, but I can still play my PlayStation 4 one. I can still play Crash Bandicoot on my PlayStation 5. Like that's what it's crazy because like we didn't have that before this, and I don't think people are appreciating it enough because on my PS4 it was literally I had Killzone, Resogun,
That was it.
and I think like Call of Duty.
You had to wait.
Like that, yeah, exactly. And I had to wait for there to be games. Whereas now it's like, oh, cool. I have Sackboy, I have Spiderman. I think that's what I'm gonna get into. I don't maybe Cold War, and then
Cyberpunk.
I have all the games that I had before. Well, I'm saying right now.
Isn't that like a shame to say?
that comes out 2 weeks.
But
No other games, just Sackboy and Spider-Man. That's it.
I mean, here's the thing.
I said,
No, but here's the thing. That's not all. I'm saying that's what appeals to me, right?
Right.
And that's what you're gonna get at launch. Like that's what the thing that I never understood about you. You expect the world
And you saw
like on
I just
day
expect
one.
a couple games. Like
Yeah, sure there is.
do.
There's
You have-
Bloodborne.
I got Godfall.
PlayStation
My
Access.
fault.
You have
Godfall.
no-
Hold on. I'm saying PS5 games, Godfall, Demon Souls, Sackboys, Big Adventure,
2K.
Spider-Man. Like right there, that's 4 solid exclusive launch games. Whereas, no, I mean that's a
Valhalla.
solid lineup. Now, do they appeal
Kind
to
of
you?
weak. It's kind of weak.
That depends. Some of them, right? Not every game's gonna appeal to you. You're not gonna
I
be
hear
like,
what you're trying to
fuck yeah,
say.
I'm ready for Sackboy.
I
No,
hear what
but
you're trying to
I'm
get at.
like, fuck yeah, Sackboy's my game.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. Is you're not gonna get everything all on day one.
To be
And
honest with
the
you,
fact that once I'm done with Sackboy, I can finish out my Crash Bandicoot save. Like that's what I'm just trying to get on my point here. Is nobody's appreciating that enough because like I remember the first PlayStation like couple months of PlayStation 4 where it was like I was waiting for Infamous and that got delayed, and I was just kind of waiting around and I didn't really have like a ton to play on the new console because it was
Yeah,
it was basically ground up PlayStation 4
look,
games.
I understand that, but to be honest with you, what's really disappointing me is not necessarily the launch games, but like I thought the other PS4 titles were supposed to like a lot of these games. Like I bought in hoping that they would transition to this PS5 upgrade. Like honestly, like the PS5 low-key was supposed to be like my PS4 Pro Plus.
They will.
At this point. I mean, eventually, right? But like at launch, like why aren't these things ready to go? Like
That's not PlayStation's fault. I mean, that's the developers'
I
fault.
mean, sure.
Like with Avengers,
Sure.
that was supposed to be there, and it's not there, and it got delayed.
And exactly, that's my point. And like, I feel like I mean, we can talk about some of these games because I feel like even Godfall, I got some issues with Godfall I can talk about later on too. But like, I feel like we need to start holding these developers accountable because it's like, I got this game console to play these games, these PS5 upgrades, right? Apex got delayed, Marvel delayed. What else other game delayed?
Sure, but
I don't
you
even
can
think
still play Apex.
I could still play Apex, but I can play Apex on my PS4.
Okay, but cool. How about they didn't do this and all that shit got delayed and you can't play Apex on your PS5?
Okay, I would still be playing Apex on
Are
my
we
PS4.
appreciative of what we have, or are we entitled on wanting more?
What do you mean? I already had a PS4. Look, if I really wanted to play Apex,
well, you didn't have to get a PS5. You could have been like,
you
could have been like, none of this appeals to me. I don't want a PS5.
I know I could have not gotten a PS5, but the fact that the PS5 was appealing and they were gonna adapt all of this over to the PS5.
Sounds like you got bamboozled, dog, and you still don't.
I did. I got finessed. I got finessed for this PS5. Is what it feels like. Like I've already had my PS5 break and shut down on me twice.
Ooh,
it's not even been a week.
Ooh,
all right.
I'm
a little salty.
I'm glad to say none of those issues. Sackboy, I'm having a blast. I'm having a blast.
You have.
Come on, why you gotta make that? Why you gotta use those words?
You used those on me. Your entitlement.
No, I said entitlement.
Oh, you used entitlement.
So I had been completely problem free up until
use those words.
Come on, man. You know what the climate we're in.
Oh Jesus. I had been problem free up until I got here, and my PS5 just suddenly restarted and bricked itself. It said it had to repair
PS5.
the SSD or something like that, where it had to repair the hard drive.
It did it for you?
Yeah, it automatically did it, but it was weird because I'd seen that on the PS4, like when you unplug
Clutch
it.
is saying that I'm ungrateful. I am not ungrateful.
He is
ungrateful son of
Frankly,
a bitch.
I'm glad somebody said it because he is Clutch, and I agree with you.
Look,
Clutch, I'm sure you would love having a PS5 right now.
You're supposed to take this on your back, huh? That's what Sony wants you to do.
Clutch
I'm
would be very appreciative.
I'm gonna be on my back. I'm gonna have something to
Clutch,
say.
I'm gonna send you flowers as PS5.
He doesn't want it clearly.
He has
a PlayStation 4. He's fine.
Yeah, he
He's just
clearly
gonna
is
get
fine.
Cold
He has
War,
a
play Call of Duty. Waste the fucking PS5. That's what that is.
Well, there's nothing else to play.
Play my PS4, I guess. If you have a PS5 right now, as a matter of fact, if you don't have a PS5 right now, you're not missing out. You're really not.
No, well, why did you pre-order then?
Why'd you get it?
You know, content. So I can play these games.
This guy.
That are
but you can
my
play all
PS5.
You know ahead of time what the content you're gonna get.
Yeah, I did. I never had a PS5. How would I know ahead of time?
You know what big gun content? Doubling down and not getting a PS5, and then we could have these debates on why you're stupid for not getting a PS5.
But I did.
You lost your argument because you bought it. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Then
so
return
here's
return it.
The game I've been playing.
Go return it.
Go return it. Let someone else get it.
Heavily thinking about it.
No, you're not.
No, you won't.
You know you won't. I know
the game I've been
playing
playing and talking, or that I'm covering for the channel, is Sackboy.
Like,
hot damn, dude! It's
good?
crazy. Now I haven't played Astrobot, but I've heard really, really fucking good things. It's crazy that they've launched with two phenomenal 3D platformers that, again, are genre defining. Like Sackboy's Big Adventure, I've been saying forever they should make Little Big Planet basically what this is.
Yeah.
Where they make it a platformer. They don't focus on the play, create, share, and they just give you levels and make it in a Sackboy Little Big Planet world. They've done it. They've outdone themselves. Like in terms of first of all, the music's the first thing that stands out.
Yeah.
It is so like, it's just, it brings you back to being a kid. Like it is really like
platform vibes.
Just delightful. Like you're happy when you play the game. Like the music, the soundtrack. Like again, we all know I'm a psychopath and I listen to podcasts and shit while I play video games. After a couple levels in, I was like, no, I'm leaving my headphones on. I want to like experience this world. Like just the sound design, the way that music interacts. They have levels designed around actual songs too.
So like, I've always liked those.
Yeah, so there's like licensed music in this on a couple levels. Not every level, but the levels that aren't licensed music are fucking phenomenal. I was like, this is fucking like good. Like this is really good. Like I really like. I was like, oh man, I wish I like could use this for like a video essay or something like that. Like it was really good. And then like the stuff with the licensed songs, there was one that was the Bruno Mars song.
I couldn't tell you.
24 Karat.
No. The this is just
the one he talks about where you get high.
Masterpiece. Wildin', living it up in the city.
It was 24 Karat.
No, that's not 24 Karat.
What is? You know what I'm talking about though.
That's Bruno Mars.
That's what I just said. The fuck?
Genius over there in the seat, ladies and gentlemen.
Fuck, what is it
He's
called?
here.
It's gonna drive me crazy. Oh, Uptown Funk.
Uptown Funk.
So like they had a whole, and it literally like the little bounce pads went to like the beat, and it's like if like you gotta traverse that beat is like you have to bounce at certain times, and it's like they had like I don't know. It's just the way that they done the sound, especially on like the licensed music levels.
That's the
it was serious, and then like the controller vibrates to the beat, and like again, just the way that you're interacting with the world, and it's so beautiful. Like for a 3D platformer, it's so beautiful, and it's just a creative world. Like you took all the best parts of the Little Big Planet world, and they put it into this game, and they made it really creative. Like that's just the word I can use for the game is extremely creative.
I mean, imagine like a little kid playing that game for like the first time. Like that's like his first gaming experience. Like that's what's gonna bring
and
a
there's
lot
gonna
of people, a new generation.
And there's gonna be some kid that in 10 years that's gonna fucking have a bunch of Sackboy pops and
Probably
can't wait for Sackboy racing, like just like I was with Crash.
That kid is gonna be you.
It's still gonna be you.
It's gonna be my kid.
But it's crazy because do you have those two games? Like I mean, I still kind of experienced that with like Spider-Man. Like when you first dive into Spider-Man, when you dive into it, like you just get submersed into that world. Like I'm a huge Marvel fan. Spider-Man's my favorite character. Playing this game, like as soon as I dropped in, I was like, bro, it just took me out of like everything. Like for a second, you're playing a game. It really takes you out of that world, out of that space. Kind of clears my head. Really just dive deep.
Well, and that's the thing about Sackboy's Big Adventure is it's therapeutic. Yeah. Like it really is. Like it's just something where you can kind of turn your mind off, and like you're just in this world, you're really vibing with the music, and then the levels, they do such a good job of not making it get old.
Yeah,
they do it in a way where it is, hey, this is a new creative way that we're gonna do this level, so that way you're not playing the same 3D platformer level over and over and over again. And they really mix it up in a way where it keeps you like, oh, that was super fun, or like they do like the little races, and they do just a bunch of really awesome creative stuff in the game, and they use that world that they're in such a unique and interesting way that I really don't think there's much like this game.
That's great.
Like in terms of the platform world, in terms of what they do,
it
feels almost like a Nintendo game, dude.
And it's a launch game. Would you imagine that?
It feels like a Nintendo game.
That's crazy.
And that's what I heard about Astro Bot too.
I've never really kind of like
good.
PlayStation dabble into like that type of game. But PlayStation's always been kind of big action,
So I'm almost done. I mean, not always. That's a lie.
Oh, my bad. But the games I played, I should say, my bad.
But no, frankly, I'm almost done with it. I'm more than halfway through, so I'm excited to finish that out and close that chapter so I can get into Spider-Man.
You're gonna love it as soon as you dive in.
You want to talk about Spider-Man a little bit, or?
I mean, I'm just further than me, but like the first hour definitely takes you right into it. Definitely lets you know what Spider-Man's about, the action sequence, how the combat's gonna work, the new powers you get. Like it really kind of just fast paced right off the bat takes you into that world.
Okay.
So if you guys are trying to get into it, if you guys are gonna get a PlayStation and be grateful about it, you definitely want to go ahead and pick up Miles Morales.
I'm excited to get in Spider-Man because of the swinging. They said they got all new swinging animations and effects, and that 60 frames is gonna look super smooth.
I'm just waiting to unlock the Miles Morales suit from the movie.
I'm about to go stupid in the air.
You get it automatically.
What? I haven't got anything.
I got mine.
Do I need to put in a code? I think I need to put in a code, huh?
No. Oh, did you buy it digitally or physically?
Physically.
Maybe then. Yeah, I bought mine digitally, so I got it.
Well, let's get into some news. I appreciate
news. I mean, that's what you're here for, right? Yeah. New console, new me. By the way, before we get into the news, think about if you're an Xbox player right now, you'd be even saltier.
Yeah, true.
They
have no new games.
Fucking nothing.
Absolutely
like they don't.
Nothing. I have load times.
I've never seen like even the Xbox One had a Godfall. Had a Rise game. Like they had some exclusives. Forza, right? This literally has fucking nothing.
It doesn't even have Forza.
It's not exclusive.
That's not exclusive. That's not saying, hey, come get us.
I'm very interested to see what their strategy is.
They must have some stuff coming in soon.
Right, I mean, they just have the Game Pass, dog. That's what it is. Like, I think I read a report saying that all of the Xbox users are like 70% or something like that. Yeah, like, a high number has the Game Pass and all those things.
I feel like if you have Xbox, you have to have that.
You'd be dumb to not. If you have a PC, you should have a Games Pass. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm just waiting for a game to come out like Halo, and then I'll buy.
But I have PlayStation, so
Speaking of Microsoft and Xbox, Microsoft wants Bethesda games to be first or better or best on Xbox. So what does that mean exactly, right? So Xbox CFO Tim Stewart spoke on the Jefferies Interactive Entertainment Visual Conference last week. For lack of, I'm just gonna paraphrase this. He said, "What we'll do is in the long run, we don't have intentions of just pulling all of the Bethesda content off of Sony or Nintendo or otherwise," Stewart says, "but what we want is we want the content in the long run to be either first or better or best or pick up your differentiated experience on our platforms." So what does that mean for Bethesda and Bethesda games? I feel like that means we're going to get a bunch of timed exclusive. Like, is that going to be the new wave going forward, especially since Microsoft has like the Game Pass, right? We just talked about that.
Understand. When we originally talked about them buying it, we had that debate on like if it was going to be exclusive or not. And obviously it's a smarter move to put it on all the platforms. Yeah. But I don't think that moves the needle for them. Like, I get that they want to sell subscriptions and that's going to sell Games Pass. Like, hey, Bethesda games are free on Games Pass, but you have to pay for it on PlayStation. And you get it first on
What if they
Xbox.
lock in like specs? Like, oh, if you play it on Xbox, you can play it at 4K 60, but if you play it on
that's
anything
dumb
else,
because you know the PlayStation.
They're talking about the experience too, though.
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a fair point. It's a fair point.
They can lock it in.
That
like
is annoying if they lock it in to where only Xbox gets like 120 frames per second.
But how do you build exclusivity now that everything's going across platform? Like, you have to
not
somehow,
everything
right?
though.
I feel
like
slowly
for Xbox, that's the strategy they're taking.
That's what they
and
want.
I'm interested to see if it pays off because frankly, I'm gonna do Games Pass to play the next Fallout. Like, I'm not gonna pay for it on my PlayStation. I'm gonna play it on my PC. I'm gonna get Games Pass and I'm gonna play it for $20.
Yeah.
And Tip Top Magoo, who's better than me?
But you're gonna get Game Pass just for Fallout?
Well, I'm saying like, I'll hopefully there's more games. But I mean, think about it. If it was probably just one game, $20 for a month, $60
for
ever.
Yeah.
When typically Fallout, you're like, okay, I'm in and out.
Yeah, I see that.
You know?
Yeah.
I think Game Pass
or like, okay,
for
maybe I'm busy that month.
Guy.
Maybe I'm busy that month, and I have to go into it the next month. Okay, $40 versus $70.
It makes me want to get an Xbox. How do you feel about this?
I mean, I can't really say that because can't do too much about Xbox. I've never really owned an Xbox throughout like my whole.
Did you
life.
have the Xbox One?
I had an Xbox. My brother had it, but still, then it was like his console. Yeah, exactly.
You have a gaming laptop.
Yeah, but I'm still not gonna get Game Pass. It's just too all over the top. Like, there's all the games that I would play exclusively, I would probably get. Like, literally, I had an Xbox, the last generation. Perfect example. Xbox One S. Probably played 3 games on that console: Overwatch, Halo, Fallout.
So
out of those 3 games, 2 of them were exclusives, and it's literally all I've touched with the Xbox.
Do you really like? What's your favorite Bethesda title? Like, probably Fallout.
Fallout.
So
would I buy? Probably not. They could take that. I'm cool.
They could take.
Well, it looks like you don't have to because it looks like it will come to PlayStation. Like, that's what this sounds like.
And I mean, again, but if I was a beloved fan and I only had a PlayStation or whatever like that, and next thing you know, they pull this under the rug and like take this away from me, I'd be like, yo, what the fuck kind of shit is this? Like, this is not the console wars. The idea of what it is. I don't think you could take a franchise like Skyrim, like Fallout, and just completely just say, hey, this is gonna be only for this specific set.
Oh, you absolutely can.
Why not? Yeah,
I would fucking love
a lot of money. It's Disney.
I like the competitive, like the.
But then,
100%.
I mean, honestly, if I was that fan, I'd be like, you know what, fucking take it. I don't care. There's gonna be people.
That's
like,
not true.
No,
that's not true. Because let's say
that's you being
Crash
salty.
Bandicoot goes exclusive Xbox. I'm getting a fucking Xbox.
I'll buy a PC at that
like
point.
that's if they did that strategy, that would absolutely sell me on a system for one game. Like,
bro, that's so much. You're paying $500 just to play.
I think they
I'm
should.
cool.
I honestly think they should make it Xbox exclusive. I don't know why it's a debate.
For some consumers, it'll work.
I mean,
but
they're
for
gonna
me,
make
no.
more money not doing it.
I would rather.
And this is my question, just with
Phil
the way,
Spencer said they wouldn't. He
Hey,
said
that's good. I'm just talking.
He said that they could actually make more money keeping it exclusive.
Anyway, so they can make more money if they don't go exclusive, right? But here's my question, because obviously they're not going to do that. How long before we get Xbox Game Pass on PlayStation?
I don't think we'll get that at all.
Why not?
Like, honestly,
if their goal is to sell game, which clearly from everything that I've seen
streaming service
that they're showing me is they want Xbox Game Pass to be their streaming service. I think the only thing that holds that up is PlayStation, but I think PlayStation's losing out a lot of money too.
PlayStation
by not doing that, because then at that point they sell more consoles because they're like, fuck it, I'll just get a PlayStation, I'll get Games Pass, and I'll have PlayStation exclusives. It's a win-win for Sony, right? I mean,
but that would mean Xbox would just still be getting their stuff. I feel like Sony wants to keep that competition alive though. Like, why would they just adopt Xbox Game Pass onto their system?
Well,
like, yeah, there's exclusives.
Why would you want a competition when you can just win outright? Like, you would win, you would sell all your consoles, you would sell all your games, your exclusive games, and you would be getting a cut from the Games Pass games.
So you sell more hardware because now your hardware now has Xbox or Microsoft software on
Games Pass. It would have Games Pass.
Okay, why don't they just combine and make one software, one console then? At that point,
At that point,
I feel like that's where Xbox wants to take it.
I'm so salty.
That's where Xbox wants to take it for sure.
I'm so salty.
That's all right. I got you, boo. No, that's definitely where Xbox wants to take it. But I don't know. Are we eventually gonna get that one system? Maybe. I mean, that's what I feel like they don't care.
Honestly, I feel like going towards the next 2 years, right? They said first, better, or best. We're gonna get one of those, like, because 4K 120 is gonna be, probably gonna be ideally going towards the future, and eventually 8K gaming, that's a thing. So like, imagine like maybe like year 2 when Unreal Engine 5 is like up and gone. Developers know how to use that. We're gonna get Xbox Game Pass, right? You're gonna lock in a lot of these games at 4K 120. You can only experience them 4K 120 on Xbox, on Microsoft. If you want to play it on your Xbox or you want to play it on your PlayStation, right? You're gonna have to set up with 4K 60, 4K 30. And depending on the game, right? And that's gonna be that's gonna be a reason to
is that going to be a big enough reason to get a lot of people to do it though?
Yeah, especially the people that want to buy these 8K TVs. Like, people have 8K TVs already. I'm sure they're gonna want to use that.
There's nothing
the best they can.
One thing, I mean,
not
about
right
this,
now, but I'm saying going forward, like, if you could only get 8K games on like Microsoft, right? Then I'm gonna get Microsoft.
Why can't the one thing we haven't really talked about is what if these games are timed exclusives? Like Shadow of the Tomb Raider had a 1 year exclusivity?
Yeah.
I could definitely see them doing that for Fallout or
and even then Godfall.
Yeah, but that's the thing, they don't have to.
They don't have to, but
they're gonna.
You get the best of both worlds, because then you get that whole year, 6 months, or however long they want to have that exclusive. So if people want to play it right away, you obviously are gonna have to either get a PC with Game Pass or get an Xbox,
right?
Or just wait the entire year. If you're really not, if it's like one of those games where like, maybe I want it, or maybe if it's here, I'll get it, something like that.
This gen's gonna be very interesting.
It is.
That's all I gotta say. I'm interested to see the strategy both of these fine companies are taking.
Now,
go ahead. What are you about to say? What's up, man?
Yeah,
What's up, Alex?
I was about to ask, are you more excited for what Sony has in the pipeline as far as new IPs? Are you looking more forward to like sequels and stuff?
I'm all for new IP.
Me too.
Because if you look at what
IP.
PS4 had, how many? 1, 2, like,
I mean, even though
four new IPs, right?
Yeah, and they all
Ghost of
crushed it.
Tsushima.
Like Ghost of
You
Tsushima.
want to talk about that one?
Ghost of Tsushima, Horizon Zero Dawn.
God of War.
No, God of War doesn't count.
Why not?
I feel
Order 1886. I mean, they Until Dawn.
Right.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Sekiro is not exclusive.
Sekiro wasn't exclusive?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it wasn't
It
exclusive.
feels like a PlayStation game though.
It feels like it would have been for sure exclusive.
But yeah, I mean, new IP, and especially with these studios, like their studio, the stable of studios they have, I'm very interested. But also, I'm still excited to play, the sequels, like the next God of War, the next Horizon Zero Dawn, Ratchet and Clank. Sackboy to me is a new IP because it's technically a different game than what Little Big Planet was. So to me, I count that as a new IP.
Would you consider Spider-Man Miles Morales a new IP?
No, because it's not an intrinsically different game. Like Sackboy's Big Adventure is an intrinsically different game.
They did.
That's a good point.
It went from a shooter to a puzzle. Put it
Yeah.
that way. Like, it's totally different.
I get that.
Next piece of news. Nintendo talks about the release of a Nintendo Switch Pro or a Nintendo Switch 2.
Confirm?
They confirmed an early release date of early 2021. Says they're gonna optimize the Switches to have a better computing chip, but it's gonna do 4K and hopefully better processing, so you get smoother frame rate as well.
On that little tiny,
your shit's gonna get hot as fuck.
Yeah.
No.
So
way.
obviously you're not gonna get good battery life off this thing, right? So this is definitely gonna stay in the house. So
If
maybe get
it's
a home version of the Switch.
I think it's definitely gonna be at least the same.
They
same.
might have home version. You're right.
Oh
Switch?
yeah, they could.
Switch home.
You don't think so?
No, Nintendo doesn't operate like that. Their selling point is that you can take it on
Yeah,
the go.
yeah.
You will be able to take this thing on the go, and there's gonna be some kind of battery
It's gonna be
attachment
thicker.
that you can buy.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Accessorize, baby.
I think it'll at least have the same battery
4K
life
OLED
as-
screen.
That's what I want.
OLED?
And here's
That'd
the
be
thing: it's not
crazy.
crazy. Your
That'd be
iPhone
crazy.
is a 4K screen.
Is it OLED?
It's
I
beautiful.
know iPhone 10 has an OLED
No, no,
screen. I
the
think
No,
Switch.
no,
about
they,
the Samsung.
Switch.
they haven't confirmed.
Oh, they haven't
that it's
confirmed
OLED,
as
no.
far as the Switch goes.
gotcha.
OLED, no. they
But
haven't
it would be
confirmed.
nice 4K OLED screen.
be
And
nice.
think about it, your iPhone right now is a 4K OLED screen.
I
They
don't-
can easily do it.
I don't
But
think you need 4K on that small of a screen though. I
But
think
why not? Like, imagine
1440p,
playing games like Breath of the Wild, right?
1440, but like at what point? You know, at that point, it's like you gotta look at pixels per inch,
Well, it's
right?
not just graphics, but you're gonna get the higher frame rate too. Possibly. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. Well, it's still pretty early, right?
well, I think the 4K is going to be more for the docked version.
Gotcha, when
But
your phone,
yeah,
or when you're
when
on
it switches in
TV.
between like
when you're
1080.
docked.
Gotcha.
But also, there is a reason for that big of a screen to have a 4K screen, even though.
Do you think it's still pretty arguable?
Yeah, I mean, you're probably going to be running at half 4K. What is it?
2K.
Yeah, 2K.
1440p, yeah.
Well, yeah, 1440. I think
That's
it's
what I
going to be
was thinking.
1440
Yeah.
in handheld, and then when you dock
4K.
it, it will be 4K.
I could see that.
Man, so who's gonna the handheld version though? Like the whole point with the Switch Lite was so they would have a longer battery life. Like
Mhm.
that's
Yeah, so
What
for the
drove the
people
Switch
who are
Lite.
on the go and want the longer battery life, they're going to get the Switch Lite.
right. But like for the people that are on the go and want the higher graphics, they're gonna
Yeah.
get like what an hour or two of like gameplay. Like that's
Well,
How do we
again, this is
know?
all
We don't- yeah,
speculation.
we
We
don't
have no
know
yeah.
idea.
I mean,
Yeah.
obviously it's all speculation. I'm just saying though. Obviously with this 4K screen and the enhanced computer chip, you're gonna have less battery life.
I think
There's no
I
way
think
it's
your
less.
on the go people aren't like
get this one?
super
Yeah.
crazy about 4K OLED
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
It's going to be more for
On the
people
go.
like us or
It's
me.
like the PS4
True.
Pro. The PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. It's like it was for those people who wanted better graphics, but didn't necessarily want, they didn't want to dish out enough for a gaming PC at the time.
I wonder if they start making. Oh my bad. Go ahead.
No. I'm just trying to figure out. I'm trying to a little bit off topic, but if they're gonna come out with a new model, do you think they're gonna be coming out with a new IP, a new game to kind of sell with it? Because honestly, the Nintendo hasn't had a really
Yeah,
popping
so
game.
I got a couple of titles that I've seen got announced. What were you about to say, Cheeks?
No, it's
Just
just
like
Nintendo's
Zelda.
been quiet. Like,
been
I mean, they did
quiet.
Animal Crossing, and that was huge for
that
them.
was
I think
beginning of the
March
year.
during
I
quarantine.
think that was big because of quarantine, though.
But
I think
yeah, it
quarantine
was
definitely
and
helped.
everybody got
Yeah.
What's that word I'm looking for when you play too much?
Burned out.
I'm burned out.
There
yeah.
you go. You got burned out.
When you do it too much, you get burned out.
Yeah, and I mean, it got burned out. So after that, really, Animal Crossing was the last big game from Nintendo. Like, I know you have a list coming up, and I hope.
What was before that? Though?
A lot of the games on this list though are continuous sequel games. Like for
Right.
example, I got like Mario 3D World, Browser's Fury. I think those were Wii U games.
Yeah.
Well, when was the last time we really had a new IP that stuck?
Splatoon?
Splatoon. Yeah.
Arms. The sequel.
That's an arcade game.
Our sequel's coming with legs.
What the fucking game? What a stupid ass game.
You had arms on there.
Harv's, you just fucking shake your fucking remote.
I think they still have Bomberman. Is that or that's Sega?
That's
No.
an
Like-
old IP too.
Nintendo's not known for original IP. I don't think.
No,
not,
they just
not
stick
for
with
making
Mario.
like-
Mario
yeah.
sells, bro.
They keep their fucking.
It's a Mario
Zelda.
box. That's-
Zelda's definitely going to be
Sex
their launch
and
game.
Mario sell. Those are the two knowns within this
Damn.
universe.
Sex and Mario.
Imagine all
Let's
the-
look at this list
All
though.
the
So we
porn
got.
parodies of Mario.
I already told you Mario 3D World, Bowser's Fury. That's coming in February 12th. And by the way, this
Can't wait.
Nintendo launched Nintendo Switch 2. Supposed to be coming early 2021, which I think it's interesting. They timed it after the launch of everything else. You think they did that on purpose?
Yeah, I think I think this is their way of keeping the Switch relevant
I think
in
so.
terms and keeping the longevity there, so they don't have to do a new
Yeah.
one, and also keep the sales numbers that they're doing.
I think it's way easier, especially after the anticipation for this next gen console, right? Everyone's kind of almost forgot about Nintendo in a sense this year because they haven't
forgot about
really
it.
had any launch. Like I gave my Switch away, right? Like to my little sister. Because like, what am I gonna play on it?
There's
See,
nothing you can
Pokemon's been keeping strong with DLC, but like
That's it.
I'm not playing Pokemon, I'm playing Apex, right?
The last big game that I see here that made me maybe want to play would be the Paper Mario World, the origami game.
The last big game that I see people play, like notably on the Switch, is Animal Crossing. But
That's
we have
about
what
it.
Square Enix Bravery Default 2. Never heard of it. There's a new Monster Hunter game coming out in March. Metroid Prime could be a launch game or maybe a
Metroid
game that
would be-
comes
Isn't
out.
it so
this
long for a
console.
Metroid game?
Nah.
I think that
I
would bring
know.
people in.
Yeah,
Well,
that-
they
that'd be
announced
sick.
it. They give us a logo. And they're
Yeah.
like, please be excited, just like the fucking Square Enix guys said about E3.
I mean, this could be the time they launch it, with the 4K, the new processing power on the Switch. Nintendo's finally going to, switch over from 720, I think the Switch is? Or is it 1080? When it's handheld?
It's 720.
720, yeah, and then docked at 1080. I mean, I don't know. Things are moving forward. I'm sure developers are starting to use more, higher game engines, so they're gonna have to keep up.
Yeah. But I mean, to me, I hope they come out with something good, something great that kind of says, "Hey, buy this console for a reason."
New Bayonetta?
Do you think the Switch is slowly turning into what the Wii was? Where remember how everyone bought Wii's and the phase? I mean,
if anything, I think the Xbox became.
You still can't find a Nintendo Switch, dude. Like it's
hard.
You can't find a PS4 or an Xbox One either.
True. But I mean, those were both fucking fantastic selling consoles. I mean, you can find an Xbox pretty easy.
Nah.
Yeah. Xbox is still coming in, but
even though they did just say that more than likely you're not going to get it for holiday season for pre-order.
No. I'm talking about Xbox S.
One.
Oh yeah, nobody
and
cared
X.
about that. Yeah, they had a bunch of those.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing. You can find those pretty readily available. Switch still hard. You can find the lights, but you can't find the actual Switch.
Yeah.
All I know is that
is interesting because maybe that's why.
What?
Oh,
maybe they're switching manufacturing over to the Pro.
You know
be
what?
Quiet about it. Who knows?
That would make sense too. Because did you guys see how a lot of stores were getting the Animal Crossing editions that were limited edition early in March? That would make sense why they were just sending all these stores more and more,
just gearing up.
Yeah, exactly. Dumping out
whatever. Say, you know what?
Whatever.
Fuck the Switch. We're gonna produce maybe like a small amount, but then we're just gonna set all the money towards.
You can make all the consoles you want. You gotta get a game, something to sell with. Some services. Xbox has the services. Game Pass, great. Yeah. PlayStation has exclusives, great.
No. Yeah,
Nintendo,
but Xbox still doesn't have games. Yeah. Like you have a service, but that doesn't mean shit when you have games.
Some people buy because of it though.
If Nintendo can meet the demand that COVID has put for
they have more time
for
to
gaming
prepare too.
Yeah, I mean they have out all of 2020. Like I haven't really heard of any COVID. Like I don't think we had any direct plays since what COVID started. Like that's not, Nintendo's been ducking off. We have a couple.
Yeah, like Pokemon ones, like bullshit ones.
They had it for Zelda, the Calamity
nothing major. One. Exactly. Yeah, I seen that one. They had nothing major, so it's like I wouldn't be surprised if 2021 they launched this Switch 2 and they have a shit ton and it's easy, accessible. Everyone's able to get one in their hands compared to the next gen consoles.
For Breath of the Wild 2. When Breath of the Wild 2 comes out and there's a Pro model for the Switch, guess what? Cop it.
You're gonna get the Pro model though? Huh? You're gonna get the Pro? Switch Pro?
I mean, I gotta see what it is, see what it's about, and then obviously Breath of the Wild.
He's such a fucking Nintendo sellout. He's gonna get it.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! Give it to me, daddy. I mean what? But no, I imagine all the Melee games. Smash Bros is gonna be great.
Smash Bros doing a little smash
in
attacks
4K,
in 4K, bro. Super colorful, eyes bleeding. Next piece of news. So we talked a little about Microsoft and we talked about PlayStation. I already told you I'm not fucking with PlayStation got to give me. Thinking about returning it.
Do it.
Then,
you won't. Do it.
I'm thinking about returning it.
No, you're not.
I'm thinking about adding my warranty for sure. Like I thought I can get away without adding the warranty, but like it's not been a week and my stuff already been shut down, like 4 shutdowns. So we're definitely getting the warranty.
Return it.
You're gonna return it.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, don't even buy the warranty.
You can return it tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll go.
I'll help you pack
I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you.
Ask me.
I'll do it for you.
Or we just ship it to Clutch.
There you go. Yeah,
I thought
more.
I would return it and then I would spend the money and get me a Series X. That was that slipped past my mind. I thought about it. I could just get a Series X.
Fuck would you
switch over?
You know what? Just play Spiderman. No, just play Spiderman.
I seen that the Series X also has its fair share of problems.
What you did there. I see what you did there. You weren't actually thinking about it. You were just trying to segue into the thing.
Oh
no, he's still trying to do it.
I see what you did there.
Stop reading me. So yeah, it's still fair share of problems over on the Series X. So I got this video, but before we get to the video, so reportedly the Series X has a problem with the disc tray. All right, so if you got the Series X and you want to load up some games, apparently the disc tray has some problems where like it just starts making really loud noises. I've seen people like compare it to like a mechanic machine gun or like a metronome where it's just super super loud. Like I got some videos kind of show you what it sounds like. I'd rather have I don't know what honestly I'd rather have my money back in my pocket. If I'm being honest, if I had to choose between these problems, between my PS5 being 4 shut down and then my Series X sounding like a jet turbine engine that might explode.
Liar. You wouldn't rather that.
What do you mean? I'd rather have my money back.
All right, return your thing then.
Return it, bro.
I'm too scared. I'm not going to return it. I'm not going to return it. No.
There you go.
No, you should.
No.
Because you rather your money back in your pocket.
There you
No,
go.
I'm
You
just
can use that
talking.
on.
Yeah, you talk a big game, you
I'm
piece
just
of
talking
shit.
and I still want it.
No, this is
sell
unheard
it
of.
first.
Xbox having launch issues with hardware.
Yeah.
I've
Don't
never
know what
seen
you're
this
talking
before.
about.
I've never seen this before.
Selling out to
You know
Nintendo,
what?
greater than Crash. Shout out to Monkey King.
I think PS5 has had its fair share. I mean, with them breaking and stuff when you put it in rest mode. I don't know if that's happening to you guys.
Oh, that was the thing. You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to. But
in the middle of a game, don't put it in rest mode, otherwise it'll break your PS5.
It's not warranted that you use rest mode for your PS5.
Dude, if you have a game,
deadass.
If you're in the middle of a game, don't put it in rest mode.
There's been reports of
quit the game and then put it.
Putting
in rest
your
mode.
game in rest mode will break your PS5 and force it to shut down.
Cool. I gotta go home.
Yeah.
I haven't had an issue with that.
Just saying.
Isn't that so amazing for you and your little Sackboy and little Crash and I'm gonna play isn't that so great?
It is.
Do you think there's a bugs that'll get fixed in patch updates?
Yeah,
Hopefully.
definitely. No, definitely. But
There was supposedly a patch update for Godfall that fixed the problem. I mean, I was able to run through the mission that crashed the game twice, so they're fixing them. But I feel like that's what I paid for. Just see these things get fixed.
Oh yeah, day one, things are always ironed out. This fucking guy.
Right.
You know what you signed up for, dog?
I don't know what I signed for. Can we play some of these videos? 'Cause I need you guys to hear this machine gun because I want to get an Xbox, and then I don't want to get an Xbox, and then I want to return my PS5, and then I don't want to return my PS5. I don't know if we'll be able to hear it or is it just straight to the chat.
That's not even a disc drive. That's the discless one.
Yeah.
It was still making sounds. I don't know.
I don't think it's coming through the soundboard, Adrian.
This is fake news, dog.
No, I don't know. Is it?
So
Can you hear it
I
yourself?
got my new
I don't see an
Xbox
audio
Series
level
X.
for it.
The desktop.
Very excited about it, but
He said.
all the course 2020,
He said
something had to go wrong.
Told us to be
So
quiet on a podcast.
He said, "Be
got ready
quiet."
to play
It's
some
playing.
Rock
The whole
Band.
point of this.
Try to put in the disc,
look at
and this
Just
is
watch
what
him slide it
happens.
in. I can't hear it myself. I don't have headphones on.
Yeah, it's not
Fun
pleasant, but
fact,
not
that
at
We
all.
should have planned this out. We could have just got headphones.
Fun fact, guys.
Look,
when a
doesn't matter
PlayStation,
if
when I got my
it's
It
on.
does
PlayStation
sound
5,
pretty bad. No,
Yeah.
that
I
does.
actually put it in
on.
the disc the wrong way.
And did it
Oh
break?
my god, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Did it break?
No, absolutely not. But
I would not have been surprised if it broke.
That sounds horrible. Oh my god.
I hope my chat can hear it because it wasn't just for you, my
Oh,
friend.
good. I'm glad he's playing Dirt 5 on the Xbox.
yeah,
Put dirt in your
that's
box.
a great
and
launch
get dirt
game.
out.
Look at that game he's playing.
Fucking great.
That's
and
probably
then,
why.
and then the Halo Master Chief Collection.
Wow.
Look at
Hey,
these
whoa.
fucking sad
Whoa,
fucks.
whoa. Do not trash Halo Master Chief Collection.
I mean,
Oh yeah, because
He
it
can't
went
even
really
put the
smoothly
disc
at
in.
launch, right? It had no issue.
He can't even
Shut
put it in.
that's what she said.
He can't even play the game he bought to play on his new console.
Yeah, I would be pretty upset too.
Honestly, this is how the
You know
company's
what
forced
I
us all to
would
go
do?
digital.
You know what I would do if I was in this situation? I'd just turn it off and go back to my old Xbox and play it the same fucking game.
And be like, wow, I spent $500 just to watch it sit on my stand, just to play my old Xbox.
Unreal. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
This really is
Swell.
a compilation of these people fucking not having anything to play.
Xbox next gen for you
Fucking
guys.
got it.
There's like
You
no
know,
games on
problems.
his dashboard too.
That's so wild.
All right.
You know, like I said, I'm an Xbox guy and I'm a PlayStation guy. I've
You
been-
can't be
You
both.
can't be both.
Pick one.
Pick your allegiance, you
I-
fucking coward.
I'm PlayStation right now, but last gen I was definitely Xbox.
We don't
and-
want you.
Yeah.
Fucking flip flop.
As part of the PlayStation community, we decline.
We do decline that offer.
Speaking of the PlayStation community, Ghost of Tsushima sells or passes 5 million units sold.
Interesting.
This
Great
brings
fucking
them
game.
Sucker Punch Productions exclusive was released on July 17th. As far as Ghost of Tsushima goes this year, right? Ghost of Tsushima came out July 17th. I'm reading this article a little weird, but I'm getting to it. They also noted, this Holst is the people that, hold the PlayStation Worldwide Studios. Holst noted that it is the fastest selling new IP from a first party studio on PlayStation 4, moving ahead of Guerrilla's Horizon Zero Dawn, which actually sold more than 5 million units the first 3 days after launch. So it's one of those Hall of Famer games. It's moving up there for PlayStation. And I think it's quite clear to say this is Game of the Year. I feel like I'm confident in saying that.
Damn, did
You're
you forget
fucking
about The
insane.
Last of Us?
I feel like...
Did you forget about The Last of Us?
Who's talking about
forgot
The Last of Us since it launched, right?
Literally everybody.
Literally
Where?
everybody.
Well,
Don't-
who's talking about Ghost of Tsushima?
Dude,
Oh,
People
not-
are still talking about Ghost
Yeah,
of
because
Tsushima.
they're
They
doing
just had
updates.
exactly.
Dude, they're doing
Look,
updates
they're
into
still
this.
supporting
look,
the game.
if Neil Druckmann came out and he's like, The Last of Us is getting Last of Us 2 multiplayer, people would be fucking talking about The Last of Us.
right now.
It's too late. They already missed that window.
No, no,
November
no,
15th.
No, we're
bruh.
not talking about updates. We're talking about the games, right? You can even add the updates. People are talking about it because they're doing updates to it and they're adding like the co-op and shit.
But the base game
But
was
the
good,
base
too.
game, yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. It's not the fucking
So you're
Last of
saying
Us.
like, oh, Mikey and his fucking Neil Druckmann.
All I
fucking-
gotta say is
duck
do
sicking.
not count out
Duck sicking.
Cyberpunk.
It's already lost the window, dog.
Cyberpunk,
It's in
yeah,
December.
it's out the window. That's
out the
gonna be
window.
2021.
It's making a joke, guys. Fucking lighten up.
No.
It's supposed to come out, and that was the competition for The Last of Us. Now that it's not there.
No, it's not there.
It comes
Why
out
are you
when
disrespecting? Honestly,
We're not-
December.
It's not disrespecting.
It's not disrespecting.
I disrespecting suckers.
It
Because
wasn't my kind of game.
game.
It wasn't my kind of game,
I'm just
but it
like-
was a good game. It was a really fucking
Beautiful.
awesome game, right?
you know,
But it's not the fucking Last of Us.
I don't.
Aesthetically, beautifully. I mean, it was a great,
I don't
solid
think
game.
Shawn has a right to call game of the year if he hasn't finished it. I think.
You say this every show. Like I have. This is like the one game this year I did beat.
Ooh.
So,
Clutch
if anything,
beat.
this is the one
That
game
clutch
I
beat.
can actually say I beat.
Clutch beat.
And actually talk about being game of the year.
Clutch beat.
I beat.
Clutch beat. On your
I still beat.
Jesus.
under your account.
I still beat though.
Jesus, guy.
Clutch
You let him
beat.
talk to you like
That's
that? Make it.
cold-blooded.
Look, whatever. Next piece of news.
All I know
Let's not move past
is
that.
that-
Last of Us 2 is obviously going to be the game.
Game of the year. I mean, it could be.
You think Last of Us game?
Did
of the year too?
Xbox have a game
I will
of the
eat a
year?
golf ball live on air if Last of Us 2 is not the game of the year.
God, game of the year is
But
going to be the last.
if Ghost of
Clip that.
Tsushima is right,
We gonna clip that. Clip that. You eat a golf ball live? I'll
Ghost
watch
of-
that. I'll
a
pay.
miniature one.
Ghost of
Get you a fucking little
Tsushima would
kickball.
have to win it though.
It's going to be between the two of them.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely Ghost of Tsushima.
Have we had any Xbox
Game
Game of the Years?
Nope.
Look, if
It's been
Ghost
a
of
while.
Tsushima doesn't take Game of the Year, I definitely think that the Video
Hellblade.
Game Awards is rigged. And we're just giving if Last of Us gets Game of the Year this year, then we're just giving Last of Us 2 Game of the Year just because of the reputation that Naughty Dog has.
Don't go to gamesmedia.com.
We're not even going based off the game. Who's still playing the game?
fuck?
Who's still talking about the game? I mean, yeah, we can argue that Ghost of Tsushima is
Game
being
Awards.
talked about because of like the little like Legends mode, but like it's still a solid game. Like the story mode is still solid outside of the Legends mode. Like before that, it was still selling out the window. So it's like, who's still talking about Last of Us? I mean, if they threw the multiplayer out,
Guess what we'd be talking about?
Game Awards.
but they didn't. So we're not talking.
Game
about it.
Awards.
You know what I mean?
Game Awards Game of the Year.
I'm just saying, no disrespect. So when we say Last of Us is Game of the Year, there's no disrespect. I'm taking it as no disrespect to Ghost of Tsushima because that game is again beautiful. There's something about The Last of Us that gives me that rich, deep storytelling that like no other.
Yeah, I mean, we can still talk about Game of the Awards, but I want to move into my next topic because I feel like this has something to do with, especially Last of Us. So Newzoo, which is a gamer analytics team, they kind of watch game analytics, see what's going on that way. They study a little bit of that. So they did a study on diversity and inclusion in games, and they brought it down to 54% of U.S. players said that diversity is important in games, with 47 adding that they avoided playing a game in the past because they felt it wasn't made for them. The result were a bit lower in the UK, saying 47 wanted diversity, 41 said they'd avoid those games. I wanted to ask you guys, do you guys
What's up?
feel like diversity in end games propels the game, or as far as even just the industry forward? Like, do you think that's warranted? Like, that's a thing that should be?
I think it's a good initiative. I mean, it's a conversation. I mean, again, if you build a game from the ground up, you got to make those decisions early on in the game.
You think it's a big risk factor though in games? Like
I
Last
think
of Us,
so.
was told from a lesbian, right? She was a lesbian.
I
forgot
hate
the
to say
character's
it, but
name.
I think so. I mean, it's unfortunate that sometimes because the main character is a girl, what or like. What?
I mean, that's a risk in itself.
I mean, I don't want to do this, but no, like
Feels like-
Horizon Zero Dawn, amazing. Last of Us 2, Ellie, amazing. Like fucking amazing games. Phenomenal. I mean, for me, I really don't care. For me, there's no like, I wish it was this, I wish it was that, or I hoped it was. Like, I don't care.
I
Give
mean,
me a
just
good,
even
solid
more
game.
inclusion. Like I know they talked about, not even as far as like race or like sexuality, but like even adding in more like, for example, like disabled people into like games. Because I know Marvel, they was talking about adding in a character that was in a wheelchair as a playable character. You feel like those characters should be more into. Like, do you think there's a place for I don't even know how to ask this question, right? Because like it feels like obviously the answer is yes, but like why aren't they in games?
They are.
Not as much.
I
or
mean,
even taking that shot.
Go 7 years ago, and there was virtually no diversity in games.
True.
And now, I mean, here's the thing: everybody expects progress to be like overnight, but also it's up to the creators as well. And the creators are saying that yes, we want these diverse stories. That we want a Miles Morales Spider-Man game. We want the main character in Marvel's Avengers to be a Pakistani girl. We want The Last of Us to be told from a lesbian's perspective, right?
Yeah.
And that's intentional. Like, and to me, The Last of Us one didn't feel like.
They had a transition.
Because here's the thing: you can feel pandery. You can. when you do these kinds of moves, and that's what makes it risky. Because like, are you doing it to be pandering, or are you doing it to actually tell a story? Now, what I find interesting about this study is this is way more split than
I would have thought.
you would think based off games media. Because games media,
that's what you're saying.
yeah, to me, obviously, yes, there's 100% a place, and there should be a place for diversity in video games because we're diverse people, right? Like, I mean, just in overall games, the United States is a diverse country. 100%. Look around. Look, I mean, sure, in some areas it's gonna be less, but I mean, look around the Bay Area. Like, I'm a minority here. I'm a minority
100%.
in the Bay Area.
That's why I love the Bay Area.
Like 100%. And there's it's not just here. It's we're just a diverse people, and we have diverse thought, and that's good, and that should be celebrated. And if a creator and creators do want to tell those stories, they will tell those stories, and they will, tell them through diverse perspectives. Does it turn me off at all? No. Like, I like it. When I saw that the I forgot her name, Miss Marvel in Marvel's Avengers, like I was actually really like, fuck, this is really cool.
Yeah.
Like, this is really awesome to have, like, a main Pakistani female kind of be the lead of this game. That's fucking awesome. Of like in an Avengers game, that's crazy. But at the same time, 54% of players said that diversity is important in games, in game characters, right? That means there's, what is that? I'm bad at math. 46% of people who don't, right? And you look at the landscape that we're in now,
that needle needs to be moved.
Figure it's fucking 95% of people give a fuck about diversity in games.
Yeah.
I just think that's interesting, just because of how the games media is skewed. And how they're like, oh, everybody wants this, and this is the way it should be, and blah, blah, blah. Well, 46% of people don't really give a fuck. Like, genuinely don't give a fuck. They're going to be the guys who are, like, mad, like, oh, this is a female character, blah, blah, blah. But, 46% of people don't care. And it's just interesting to me, because being on Twitter and being in, around the industry in terms of the people in it, you think this is, like, the number one thing people think of when they play a game.
I know. They're like, wait, what? I'm playing this character?
Yeah.
Return it.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Like, it's almost like you get ostracized for having a white male as your protagonist, when 46% of people don't give a fuck either way.
At the end of the day, I feel like gameplay reigns king. But I understand the diversity reasons and split. Like, yeah, like a game could be a lot better with a female lead, or sexuality of this character could be skewed, so that could change like the story. I mean, like, those are things to play with, like from a developer's side. But I think gameplay remains king. Like, I don't care.
I mean, but I do remember seeing a video. I mean, they talked about it like for Spiderman Miles Morales, how like people were streaming the game, and they were like Latin or whatever, and then they would see the Dominican Republic flag, they would see the people speaking Spanish, and they actually have that in the game. Like, back then, like, that would have been crazy. Like, imagine 5 years ago, 10 years ago, like, there would be a Miles Morales video game, and you'd actually have actors and all these people speaking like that language in the game. Like, it's just like Mikey said, it's not like a flip of a switch, or all of a sudden you get everything you want, but it is, the needle's going in the right direction. It just sucks that 47 people like don't care.
Why does that suck?
I mean, it's 47 added they avoided games because they felt it wasn't for them. I don't know if it's don't care, or they just didn't want to play the game because
that I feel like skews on more what the games media is doing on, where it's like, oh, like I don't feel represented in this game. It's not. I don't think that 40. That's an interesting one, because that's a mix. You're getting a mix of the people who are going, oh, I don't feel represented in this game, so I'm gonna try to avoid this game. And then you also got the people who are like, oh, this is a female in this game, so
fuck them.
I don't want to play this game. So you're basically gonna. That's a weird polling statistic.
Right I see what you're saying.
Whereas the first one I feel is a more representative in terms of, like, does this matter to you? And I don't think that sucks at all. That 46% of people don't give a fuck.
No, exactly.
I think that's the way, like, it should be in terms of, like, not giving a fuck. But obviously, there are people who give a fuck because they feel like they're not represented in games, and they want to be more represented in the games. And good on them, and I think they should be. But I also don't think we should berate the people who don't give a fuck. And I also think that you know, I just found it interesting that
I
there
agree with
are that big of a minority that don't give a fuck, because with the climate that we live in today, you'd think that
You gotta be,
95% of people give a fuck.
I agree with you. I think it's important to have diversity because even to the people that don't live in a diverse area, right, you can still expose them to at least some culture differences, you know, in games. Like, for example, Spiderman Miles Morales, right? Imagine just placing that like in Iceland or something where it's just a bunch of people who never, you know, experience what like maybe like Black America's like, and you kind of get a little taste of that in Miles Morales or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, they spread a little bit of culture somewhere, you know, sprinkle here, sprinkle there.
Seeing Black Panther in theaters in the Bay Area is so different, like for the first time, than seeing it in like, you know, Kentucky. Because like when it was like Oakland, like, you know, it cuts and it was like the Oakland like title screen and like the whole theater.
Oh
was like,
yeah, I did that. That was me.
Shit.
That was me.
Like, yeah.
I remember that. I
Like
remember
it was
when
cool,
Oakland.
and like shit like that's cool.
that was
But
me. That's us. That's
I
us.
know. I just found it interesting because you would not think that
It's
big of a
important, man.
minority doesn't give a fuck.
It inspires things too. I mean, all in all, like I said, I want that needle to go in the right direction where, you know, it is a thought and it's something that people do feel included.
But if it's not a diverse, is that the wrong direction?
yeah, at the end of the
If
day,
it's not diverse,
Like,
I
if
feel
that's-
like you lose story.
if it's a story of all about white people, I'd be
But
like,
here's the
what is
thing:
this?
what if you get somebody who makes the most diverse game ever, and like that's what they base it around? I feel like you lose story there.
I based the story around diversity. No, I'm saying like you.
No. I'm saying you try to fit as much diversity into the game, right?
Like we don't have
Yeah.
enough.
that
like,
doesn't make a story. Like if that was what they're basically basing their game around, doesn't mean it's going to be good. Whereas I don't think, you know, somebody from the Netherlands who's making a game and, you know, is less diversity, but it's a really thought out story that he wants to tell and thought about it in, you know, that character's perspective. I don't think they should be knocked for that.
I mean, I feel like that's a game by game basis. Like if we're talking about like,
Well, I
like
know that's what I'm
Doom,
saying.
right?
Like the
There's not
generalizations.
really much diversity you can have in like a Doom.
Well, no, but I'm saying like in a story based game.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I feel like just like creators create. And if they want to create it with, you know, less diversity, obviously you want to try to get as many people playing it and interested. But like if that's like what you envision for that story and that's how you wanted to tell it, I don't think they should be, you know, berated for not, you know, having super diversity. And I also think that people who include you know, diversity and do it well and have it relevant to the story and not just pandery
So,
should
let me
be
ask you this.
congratulated.
So do you think games that I mean, yeah, obviously you want to look at how the story was told, but do you think games that have more diversity get more recognition than games that don't?
Yeah, like I said, I feel like it's almost like a scarlet letter to have like a non-diverse game or like a white protagonist male,
Yeah,
like in a game,
Yeah,
at least in
like that.
2020.
yeah.
Days
Which
gone.
I don't necessarily think it's like a bad thing. I do celebrate diversity. I want diversity in games,
Yeah.
and I think some of the best games I played with the best stories are diverse games.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very interesting to me. Just the climate that we get.
I mean, yeah, I'm all for
Like,
it.
just-
and
just-
if it's not for you, yeah, I get what Mikey's saying.
How about you? Phil? You got anything on that? Or are you good?
No, I mean the idea is just I'm all about diversity. I mean, like the only thing I would say is kind of like to Mikey's
Liar.
point. Don't make it feel like it's
I heard you
pondering. Like,
told
don't
me-
make it feel like it's forced.
before you
Yeah,
told
you don't wanna
before
feel
we
like a
started the
pander.
podcast, you're like, I'm not for diversity. That's why I heard you
That's
say.
exactly what I said. I was like, I don't look like Spider-Man. I don't want to play this shit. That's exactly what I said.
Clip that.
You'll start a mask on the next show.
But the more the merrier, dude. Honestly, I mean, I just feel like when you add something that's true to you and true to something that you could, you know, resonate with in a video game, that just makes the experience that much more.
I think it adds to the experience when you have more diversity. Not trying to take away from a white male protagonist that could have a
Yeah.
really good plot out story. Like
I'm not mad, Joel.
I'm not saying I'm not saying take it away, but also, do you really give a fuck that what's his name, Giltard from fucking Apex is gay?
Oh yeah.
Like, does anybody?
He's
Like,
so
that's the
Giltard.
thing.
Name one of
I
the
know what his
characters.
name.
I know you're talking about,
But,
that. I was
like,
confused. Like, who?
Peanut butter cups guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Gibraltar.
like Gibraltar. That's it.
Spec on his name.
Called him the peanut butter cups guy.
Gibraltar from Apex is gay. Like who's really like I'm glad
What do you
like
mean? I've
like this
never-
non-story game has like, you know, that backstory and I get their story to it. I'm
You know,
not
you
saying there's no
say
story.
that, but you'll be surprised how many, like, because I go in game chat, like, with just randoms all the time. And there'll be I was surprised how many people really like to play like Bloodhound because like he has like a transgender character. Like people really like identify behind that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, people
But
really like to push that narrative.
I just think that's interesting though. Like at least from what I'm saying is I'm not saying people like shouldn't connect with that if that's the thing that they're connecting with, but it's not really mentioned at all. Like it's not like
It's in the lore.
Yeah, sure, but like.
But here's the thing: it's either. But you would. I mean, for me, I don't care. But I mean, obviously, I would play the character. But it's great. I mean, you could either have these characters launched and no background, no story, or you could add depth to it. Add those things like Flowers.
Like Overwatch. To me, it just almost feels like pandery when like Apex did it. You know, whereas like that's cool that there's people connecting with it, but like it really has no like. Yeah, if they said he was not that transgender, you wouldn't have any difference between.
I mean, but you can say that about like Last of Us and L, right? If they would have said like
no, you would know she's gay. You would know that she's lesbian. Like that's what I'm saying. There's actual like something there. Whereas like if they're like, hey, the main Call of Duty character this year is transgender, and then they're like, just so never bring it up and never mention it, and then they just said, hey, this is what this is, and they just never call back to it or never have any kind of development around that. To me, that's pandery.
So you're saying just because like you think it's like a label they just add onto the character?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, imagine like having
male, this, that, 42.
But then at the same of the day, like you could choose not to have that at all. Like you either have these blank characters, these like how they're mercenaries. Go do Apex, boom, they're mercenaries. Don't worry about.
I mean, that's how it is in Call of Duty.
Don't fucking worry about it. They're just fucking.
Well, that's how Call of Duty is in general. So then just being like, oh, this is you know,
Call of Duty is not the same as Apex. Apex, they want to have some.
No, I know, but I'm just saying in general. The Call of Duty was my example. Right. Yeah. Or even Apex, there isn't like a ton of like, I'm sure there's no development around that whatsoever. I'm sure they're just like, oh yeah, transgender. And then they just with like, no callbacks Overwatch to it, no development around
like that, it. You know, like
what's up?
But I don't know. Yeah. But here's the thing: at the end of the day, I don't know. I'm an idiot. I'm not. You know, I don't have any of these lived-in experiences. So, yeah, what do I know at the end of the day, realistically? But I feel like I would, you know, be upset because that to me that feels pandery, and it might not for other people. But
what if they leave that there, right? And then say like they come back around, they started adding more lore to these characters, and they start using these pieces, but they have to, you know, put it there instead of like rather like.
But have they
telling us that Gibraltar's gay, right? And then like they come out in story pieces in like the new seasons, like this little like
but like have they added onto that?
Not in the stories yet, no. Yeah. But I mean, look,
so that was day one.
They could still do it
2 years ago.
But if they would have add on, but
like if they really cared, yes, they would have done it, right? They would have added on to it. And that leaves the question: like, was this just a piece to, you know, appease people and be like, our game's diverse?
You got a point.
Or was that actually something there to add to the story?
You got a point.
And I think that's where it's important is to have these, you know, be meaningful, you know. Because like that's an important part of the character, right?
You're gonna do it right.
You being black is an important part of your experience and your, you know, your person. And I'm sure someone who's transgender, that's an important part of them. And I'm sure someone who's gay, that's an important part of them. Well, it feels disingenuous to have a character who's that, and it's not an important part of them. That's my point.
He makes sense.
I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. But who knows?
All right, guys. You guys have any side topics you want to add in? That's kind of my last story I had for the show here.
No, I'm just I'm always gonna talk about Mandalorian. Shit's amazing, Baby Yoda.
Episode 3. I haven't seen the new one.
Episode 3 is lit.
I heard that's the best one so far.
The best one. It kind of feels in
Baby Yoda with his little 3 fingers.
Baby Yoda's up in that bitch.
Okay, yeah.
You finally hear some names that you'd be like, oh shit.
Oh, they have some familiar names.
They have some familiar. I mean, if you listen to the Clone Wars or anything like that, so
I watched the Clone Wars.
You'll be like, okay. Right. Or Rebels, you could be like, okay.
I would like to talk about the PS5.
That's all the time we have for the rest of the day, guys.
One thing, have you guys use headsets when you play, right? Have you guys noticed the 3D audio? Because I don't know if you know, the 3D audio actually works with headsets on. So I've been using Astro A20s, which are just stereo wireless headsets. The PS5, even though it's outputting into a stereo headset, with a Tempest Audio, I think that's what it's called. I think it's called like the Tempest Audio Engine or whatever. It's able to give you 3D audio even if it's outputting a stereo signal.
I used to get 3D.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys have noticed the 3D audio, but it is absolutely amazing, especially in games like Spiderman. I was playing and it sounds absolutely amazing. Really, it sounds like buildings are flying above you to the side. You can hear the people below you. It is actually pretty insane if you really take the time to kind of listen in.
I haven't really taken note to it per se, but now that you talk about it in Godfall, like it is easier. You can kind of hear when enemies are like, because the camera's kind of like stationary, it doesn't move too quick. Right. Like you have like a quick pivot move, but you really have to fight like based off your senses. Like they have little arrows letting you know that like, okay, the enemy's attack comes from this direction, so you know where to block. But like you kind of have to fill it out. Like that game is really like feeling like the world per se. So I kind of hear what you're saying.
Yeah, but no, I was blown away how well it was able to upscale my stereo headset to 3D audio.
If he has 820s to go to that, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Call that a dub in your book.
W's in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, put some dubs in the chat.
All right. Tombo actually clipped it. Oh my God.
I know. Yeah. I appreciate you guys for watching today's show.
Appreciate
it.
Wait,
gonna end it right
Mikey
there.
Mikey didn't want to set topic.
My name is That Kid Flowers. You can watch this show tomorrow over on youtube.com/play everything at 10 a.m. Or you can listen to it on podcast services around the globe. To the left of me, I have Cheeks_Junior. You want to plug something to the people?
Absolutely. I'm all about plugs, plugging things up. Big, small,
What's the plug?
tight,
just tell us the plug.
Just tell us the plug. Just do the fucking plug.
You can follow me at Cheeks_Junior on Twitter. You can keep up to date on my show, Tech Fever, that goes live right here on youtube.com/play everything. Every Thursday at 10 a.m. Me and Kevin Quello break down the tech news of the week. And please, God, please watch the thing that we just made because there is so much time. Compa's super tired from it. It is going to be our first original kind of skit that we're doing, and that's going live tomorrow at 10 a.m. along with this podcast. So as soon as you're done here and you're listening it up, right, click over there, go watch it. We worked so hard on it, and it was supposed to be today. It's going to be tomorrow. So look for that and let us know if you want more of that.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Compa, you want to plug anything in the chat? What's good?
Nothing. I mean, I'm just happy I'm wearing the Raider jersey because, we 6-3. We got the dub. I'm happy. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, Compa Andres. Follow at your boy. And that's about it. And hope you guys have a good one.
Adrian, you in the back. You want to plug something, baby?
I'm going to continue plugging my my photography channel or my photography page on Instagram. Got my shoot coming up. I have to actually redo my entire photo shoot because I realized that 90% of my photos that I took were out of focus because my lens is shit. So gonna be investing in a new lens before I go out and do any nighttime shoots. So I'm gonna have to kind of change it up where my last one was.
Good for you, Doc. Okay.
But yeah, so go and check it out. Valadez.photography on Instagram. Go show some love. See if you guys, see any photos or anything. I'm actually thinking about set up a little bit of a side hustle.
You just said your pictures are out of focus.
No, not for that. I'm talking about
baby steps.
For the pictures that I do have.
Right, and then you can do it. Okay.
Because I think I have a pretty nice amount of shoots on my page itself. I hear Tom laughing in the back. The shoots that I have done in the past, I'm really happy with them. I still think they hold up now. So I do want to kind of do something with those. But yeah, stay tuned.
All right, we'll see. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to head out of here. Catch you guys live next week.
Live and
flippity floppities.